Welcome to the Tippy Top Entrepreneur Experience. A big welcome to Raja Skogland from Norway, founder of the visionary company and investor in over 50 startups. Welcome on the show, Raja.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Good, absolute pleasure. Now, Raja and I met on LinkedIn due to our mutual love of startups and investing. And Raja has certainly earned her stripes in the sector. And if you know the visionary company, you'll know what I mean. Investment banking, community building, creating startups, running incubators, accelerators, investing in startups, and exiting a few. Raja really has done it all. Raja, can I pass on to you to elaborate a bit more about your experience?
Oh, where do we start? Yes, really background from long time ago. It's banking in Switzerland, but was not really passionate about it at that time. Maybe I'll go back to banking someday, but I'm still into startups for now. So after banking, we moved to Norway, and in Norway, I just decided to start my own business, but I didn't really know what kind of business or who to talk to or who to get help from. And I didn't have really big business experience really on how to run a business. So this is how it all started really. I started to connect with other entrepreneurs. I decided that the best way for me to learn from others as fast as possible about entrepreneurship, especially in a place where you don't have a network, is to build your network. So I started hosting events. This is how it all started 7-8 years ago. I hosted events for entrepreneurs to help them build their network. So this is community building, helping build a community. And while I was building the community and helping them connect with each other and build a network, I was also discovering the challenges they were facing. So every time I was connecting to someone, I was offering my help. How can I help you? Was like a question I was asking everybody here. How can I help you? What can I do for you? Just tell me. So many opportunities came my way this way. Not only building my network, but also offering a stage for others to feature their company. At that time, they were not really like pitching competitions. So some of them were presenting their company on my stage at my events. This is how it all started. And from there, I decided that I needed to scale this online. There were so many. My events were gathering up to 300 people. So it's a lot of people you want to help. And at some point, you're just one person and a small team. You want to help more. You know, there is a need for it. So I started to explore how I can build this community online. And this is what led me to launching the hub.io in Norway. And the hub.io was a job it's still up and running and growing and helping thousands of companies. It's a job platform for startups, helping startups recruit talent. So in that way, I was helping them build their network online. And one thing to another, always trying to help better and more entrepreneurs. It led me to launching an online accelerator. So I left the hub after 2 years when we launched, and I grew it to, with my team, we grew it to 100,000 unique visitors and thousands of startups listed. I was like, okay, I've learned that, I've done this, great. But I see so many other problems I can help entrepreneurs with. So one of them, after helping them with their network, I realized, okay, one of them is knowledge. They have no clue. Some do, but many don't know how to build a team, how to launch an MVP, how to start, just how to raise money. Everybody wanted to raise money and coming to me because I managed also along the way to build a network of investors and start to invest little by little myself. They were coming to get funding. And I was like, okay, send me your pitch deck. I would like to have a look. And I'm like, this is not, you're not ready at all for anything and really not for investors. So I started to coach. And then I realized, okay, this is just me again, trying to help. I need to scale this. So I created an online platform just using Kajabi, basically. And I've Kajabi, which is an e-learning platform helping you launch your courses. So I created an online accelerator with the help of other experts, lawyers, branding experts, investors, CMOs from a big company here. We created that online program. We launched it. We had partners. We had first cohort 50 plus startups from all around the world, not only Norway. And then a company was interested in that. So I joined them. A year later, they wanted to acquire it. They made me also CEO of that company, which was a Nordic accelerator. And just like one thing to another, from hosting events and building a community of entrepreneurs offline to moving that network online to help them with one clear thing, recruiting people, then realizing there is another problem they have, which is the knowledge, access to relevant experts and knowledge, created an online accelerator, joined a bigger accelerator that acquired it. And now I went back, so I left the accelerator and my position as CEO 2 years ago, and I went back to doing it myself again on my own, because I wanted a bigger reach. I'm international, have an international network, and at that time, that accelerator was still very focused on the Nordics and Norway, which makes sense for them, but it's just stronger than me. I need to talk to people from Africa, from Asia, from all around Europe and US. It's stronger than me. So I have to create products and services that go that broad.
Wow. That's amazing. I think you were certainly ahead of your time in terms of community building, because I know it's quite in vogue now, but you were doing it back 8 years ago. And I think, I didn't even know all that about your experience with startups. So really honored to have you with us today. Now, with your help, we've come up with some really good topics to try extract those pearls of wisdom from your brain. So the 3 main topics of today are investor readiness, what investors really want to see, how to grow a marketplace startup, and I'm particularly interested in that one. And then something that you've done is materializing your dreams and ideas, insights from a seasoned coach. And of course, that's Raja. So let's kick off with question bank 1, investor readiness, what investors want to see. Now, you've obviously helped many startups get investor ready. Now, a bit of a philosophical question. Should entrepreneurs be preparing those materials for themselves to consolidate the ideas, do the planning, and then investors just happen to need it as well? Or is it not really useful for startups, and it's sometimes just what investors need to see to get the cash in, and then you run your business on the side, or not on the side, but...
So I do think that there is actually a misunderstanding around the terminology investor readiness, getting investor ready, ready to meet investors, because people think that, it's like this paperwork, and this is what I will have. An investor will say, oh, great, you have all the paperwork, you have all the templates, you have... No, that's not how it is. So what does it mean to be investor ready? It's to, yes, be ready to meet their expectations. And what are the expectations? It's actually that they are presented a solid business case. So how do you create a solid business case? This goes back to your business. It's not about just presenting something for the investors and then putting it in a drawer when it's done. It's about building a business, solid, scalable, sustainable, profitable business. That's what investors want to see. And you will go, from an investor to another, they have different expectations. But in general, angel investors, I'm not talking about like super early stage investors, which are your family, friends, and fans and fools. I'm talking about professional angels. At that stage, again, there are different categories. I meet angels who don't want to come when the startup has already some customers. They want to come early on. That's a kind of profile. My profile and my network, this is the 90% of angels, they want to see traction. So they want you to show us that you can get customers, that you have a clear go-to-market strategy, that you have a roadmap to monetize, and that you actually already started to make money, that actually you don't really need angels, right? You're doing well on your own. You just challenge a little bit. So you need extra cash to help you feel a little bit more at ease. So companies who come to me right now, I'm in my self-investing, I introduce startups to angels from my network. And the companies who come to me, it's like 3 to 5 per day that I review pitch decks. And I am very clear on what I'm looking for. When I have that amount of pitch decks that I'm reviewing, I go straight to the point. I want to see the team. I want to see who they are, their background. I want to see great possibly a great experience in running businesses, having an exit, for example, that would be great. I would like to look sometimes at good universities in entrepreneurship that have studied something, even if actually university doesn't teach you how to run a business, but some are good ones. And I can recognize, I know this kind of university, especially in Norway. So that's a good thing to look at. You want to see if they're complementary. You want to see if they are full-time, or why aren't they full-time, if they are in-house or not. It's not a problem if they're not in-house, but you want to understand things need to make sense, basically. So that's on the team side. You're investing in people. You also know that at that stage, things evolve. There are some companies I invested in 4 years ago. Honestly, one in particular that is doing great in Norway and internationally. I didn't really understand what they were doing. Okay, I didn't do that. Okay, but I knew the co-founders. I didn't understand because I didn't sit down with them and really tried. And it's in carbon emissions. It's not my industry. I don't know the details. They were closing their round. I wanted to be part of it because I knew the guys. They are smart. They are genius people. They're hardworking people. So I told the CEO, who didn't want me as an investor because he didn't need me. So this is where I get like, please. I'm like begged him. I was like, please, Andreas, please. And he's like, but Raya, I know you. You're a friend. I don't want to get you. I'm like, it's exactly because I'm your friend that you need to get me in, because I know you. I know how good you are. So, and I also knew one thing. I knew that whatever they're pitching to us today is going to evolve. So today, what they're doing has nothing to do with what they were doing. Well, it's in the same space, but it's not what they were doing 3 years ago. So you invest in people. You want to see that passionate, driven, visionary, structured, numbers-oriented person leading the company. They need to have something very strong, like either it's branding or marketing or fundraising. They need to have that strength in a certain certain space, a competitive edge. So that's one thing when it comes to the team members. Then step 2, you need to make sure, you want to make sure that they're solving a real problem. Like, is this just an idea, a business idea, or is it actually solving a problem? And it's not, so this is where when I talk about investor readiness and the work I do with entrepreneurs, I go through all these things. What is the problem you're solving? Who are your customers? Have you done interviews with them? And some investors will ask all these questions. If they are professionals, or if they take their job seriously, or if they care about their money, they will do their due diligence in terms of who are your customers? Who have you talked to? Maybe let's talk to some of your customers. I want to talk to some of your customers. If you're working with large companies, that's always great. If you have pilot customers, so just show investors that you know how to sell. Another example, I invested in a company really almost on the spot. We did one quick pitch, 15 minutes online, and I was like, I like the dynamic of these guys together. And I like how it's very structured, the way they present it. And very quickly we went to the traction. I love seeing traction. If for me there is no traction, meaning like growing user base, pilot customers, big pilot customers, and clients, money from the beginning, it's a bad sign if they're not managing to make money. Nowadays, you should be able to make money even before launching your business. So if you have a growing user base and you're telling me, because I had that case as well, where I see, oh, we have 3,000 users. I'm like, okay, what are you doing with them? Why they're there, they're like, we need money to add a feature. I'm like, no, you have 3,000 users, you need to sell them something. You don't need a feature. What are the next products and services? Yeah, we need that feature to sell. I'm like, what are the products and services? An online course. I'm like, you don't need a feature to sell them an online course, okay? You send them an email. You have 3,000 people in your newsletter. You sell them, and if you know the problem you're solving for them, if you know why they are with you, you can create a solution. You can sell them today. So it's all about these little things that you want to see in a founder. Are they street smart? Are they money oriented? Are they business oriented? Are they just like building something and telling me, I got that case again this week, somebody I coach who has 13,000 unique visitors per month, and he's not making any money on his platform. I'm like, why are you doing this? And he's, of course, burned out. And of course, he's investing his own money to keep on building the tech. And I'm like, I don't understand. When are you going to make money? He's like, yeah, because so I'm like, okay, let's keep it simple. What can you already sell them today that you can create yourself? Something. He's like, yeah, I can sell my advice. I'm like, why aren't you offering this to your community? You have 13,000 people coming every month. Even if you have 5 of them, because they don't dare. It's about their self-worth. They don't dare putting themselves out there and saying, hey, who wants to buy this? But you can also do it in a very humble way. Say, hi, you've been around for some time. We've been creating this content for you. We're super lucky to have you as a growing community. Now tell us, what else are you interested in? Do you want this or this? Help us create something you like. As simple as this. We don't have to be as service providers, as entrepreneurs, to figure out everything ourselves. Maybe we've been too brainwashed or impressed by these big brands that we see, like they just put the message out there. It doesn't have to be like that. We can also be humble and say, what do you want? So we co-create with them. This is the value of having a community, but this is how you can make the most of your community. And this is how you get ambassadors. They co-create with you.
Yeah.
And you created the product they like, they want, they asked you, they told you, I want this. So give it to me. Amazing. So this is all the things that we look at in startups, in founders. And this is just like one part. One part. That's why when I say, or we hear like get investor ready, I think entrepreneurs misunderstand what it means. They think, oh, it's the paperwork, or it's like just the pitching. Actually, when you pitch, your pitch has to be so structured in a way that it reflects the solidity of your business. And getting investor ready, it's also about getting prepared for all these questions that will come to you. Who are your customers? What's your business model? How many are you? What's your growth plans? What's your recurring revenue, annual, monthly? What are the margins you're taking? And you need to have the answers like this. Otherwise, we're like, you don't know what you're building. So why would I invest in something you're not even clear on what you're doing?
No, good. Thanks for clearing that up. I'm so glad you said it, and in such detail. And I think an interesting nuance or interesting phenomenon I've seen is a lot of entrepreneurs are happy to ask investors for money, but to your point, they're scared to ask their own customers and fans for money. Start there and investors second.
Exactly.
And you answered question 1.2, what do investors really want to see? You've answered that in more detail than we could have asked for. So thanks very much. And I guess very briefly, in terms of how to prepare, how to get there, because entrepreneurs, as you say, don't always know, don't have the skills. Is it, an online accelerator? Is that the best resource?
Well, for someone who has been building accelerators, I'm going to tell you that it's one of the best resources. I have been myself part of accelerators, even a 3-day accelerator when I was launching one of my companies 3 years ago. It's not because I coach others and I'm an investor that I know it all. It's good to get that feedback, get challenged by others, and be put on a seat where you have your eyes on you and you're stretched. So even myself, if in the future I join another company, a startup, I will advise to go through an accelerator, because an accelerator gives you access to expertise, to a structure, to a network of experts, advisors, potential board members, and investors. So why would you miss out on an opportunity during 2 to 3 months to really accelerate? That's why it's called accelerator. It's accelerating you instead of you figuring out everything on your own for 2-3 years. Like, join an accelerator. And but of course, there are different kind of accelerators. Some will take equity, some will not take equity. Most of them take equity. In my case, I don't at this stage. I just it's payment upfront, and because be careful with your equity. It's worth a lot. Maybe today you don't have the cash, and you're like, yeah, just give them 5%, 10%. I can tell you, in a few years, you might regret giving away your equity so easily. They just pick the right accelerator. Sometimes it's also okay to give equity if it's the right match and you feel they can support you in the long term. Some get more involved than others even after the accelerator. For example, the one I was running in Norway, we were taking board positions. So every 2-3 months, we meet them to make sure that there is a progress, to help them with our network, with other fundraising. So big advice, join an accelerator, get support from others who have done it before.
Got it. Yeah, excellent advice. Thank you very much. Now I want to move on to how to grow a marketplace startup. So you launched and scaled the hub.io, and I'm really keen to understand how you did it, because with a marketplace startup, particularly, you've got the buyers and sellers, and it's chicken and egg. You've got to get one to get the other. So it's B2C, but on steroids, almost B2C squared. I like to think of it. It's very, very difficult. And if you crack that, I think every other business model is far easier. Can you tell us a bit about how you did it?
Yeah, it's true. Marketplaces are challenging because basically you have several businesses in one business. You have several softwares in one. You have to not only market and run one side, but also the other side, plus your company that you need to promote. So it's kind of like 3 companies in one. And marketplaces are also hard to monetize. You need volume. It takes many years to monetize, to start becoming profitable. They're not super attractive for investors as well. So keep that in mind. Do your numbers from the beginning. Simple budgeting, how many you do your cost, and you look at how many users you need to have to start becoming profitable. How many years is it going to take you? How many months? What's the commission? What's the cut? How many transactions you need? So that's something one should do before building the marketplace, first of all. Now, how do we grow a marketplace? I would always recommend, before building that online marketplace, have that offline community. Build that offline community. So is much easier. Offline, or you can also build it online, but without building a tech yet. Get these people around you, serve them, help them, try to understand what they're looking for. And after that, look at how can I build now? How can I improve these connections now that I understood what they're looking for, what they need? And do not try to cover many aspects, many needs, okay? Let's start with one. If you can do one greatly, then you eventually add another one based on the needs of your customers, of that community that will tell you, I need this as well. Now that you helped me with this one, I also need this. So the mistake we also see with the marketplaces is they're trying to do everything at the same time, or many things. Start small, start niche, start with that group of people that you serve. And when you have gathered this community, it will be easier for you to, the chicken and the egg, they're there. So just like give them another platform. Another advice when it comes to marketplaces, really take time before building. Look at the available tools out there. Maybe Slack is enough to build a marketplace. I know many marketplaces who are making lots of money just with a closed marketplace. Myself, when I was running one of my startups 3 years ago, I did it closed. I didn't have the funding to build it. I knew it was risky to build it because I'm not even sure I want to continue doing this. I'm not even sure, you're discovering so many things in a startup journey. So I decided to do it closed. I had a landing page and people contacted me via the landing page or via LinkedIn if they're interested in my services. And my marketplace was connecting entrepreneurs, businesses, and startups with software development companies and service providers. Did I need to have that, create their profiles and payment system on my marketplace and have all that hassle that would take me 12 months to build, 6 to 12 months? No, I had the Slack channel. And at some point it was like, actually, I don't even need the Slack channel. I'm just doing the introductions on LinkedIn because my service providers are on LinkedIn. The people who contact me who needs access to service providers, vetted service providers, are on LinkedIn. So I just started to create groups on LinkedIn. Like, okay, hi, Peter, I'm connecting you to to Mark, who's interested in your services. And he's like, okay, I take over from here. And I have an agreement with Peter, taking 10% commission. So we start making money first. And then look at somebody who can build it for you. Don't look at a CTO first or a software development company first because you want to build that marketplace. No, build that marketplace offline. Use tools, LinkedIn, groups, Facebook groups, Slack, if you want to make it look a bit more entrepreneurial and cool. Start with that. And the way we've done it with the hub, to give you a concrete example, how we sold the chicken and the egg, we did research before. We knew that, of course, there are people who want to get jobs, and startups are challenged to get talent, to recruit people. There were no other platforms that was really solving that problem. We had 1 or 2 competitors in Norway, but there was room for more. Since I had the network offline and the personal branding as well, when we launched, I was just like picking up the phone, sending messages saying, hey, startup XYZ, I'm launching this. Do you want to be part of it? We can create a profile for you. We're going to come with a photographer to make nice pictures like Airbnb did in the beginning, to make it look cool and professional, to make you proud to be part of the hub.io. We are also going to create the profile for you. We're going to interview you. We had a section with like meet the founders to help profile them. And I started with, before launch, with 50 companies that I brought on board like in less than 2 months because I knew them. So of course you need to have time to go meet them, took me 2 months to get, less than 2 months to get these 50 companies. And then when we launched, we had 50 startup listed with jobs as well listed. And it was the marketing to do, with ads and also organic reach to find talent. So, and on a daily basis after this, it was a combination of inbound and outbound marketing, doing ads, but also resharing on groups, engaging with other communities, collaborating with other communities to get that community to know about us. So this is how you solve it, like in 10 minutes. This is my up in 10 minutes. Of course, it's lots of strategy to do on a daily basis, but that's the foundation.
Hugely inspiring and of course valuable advice. And the thoughts are really stirring in my head about what we can do in the UK, because I think there is some of that, but it doesn't seem like I don't know of those communities. So very inspiring. And one thing I wanted to talk about in terms of marketing, and I see this, and I don't know how well you can answer this, but I'll give you a go. Often startups say we can't grow, or we just need to hire a head of growth to come in, and the job spec is it's pretty much like your logo. It's a zebra unicorn, but this one flies and it creates rainbows in its wake. And this this job spec, you're like, wow, I want to meet this person. Does that person exist? Is it perhaps just a function of the startup actually not solving a strong enough pain, and that's why they're not growing? Yeah. Or can you find these mystical creatures that come in and grow sales, and would they actually work for you, or would they be entrepreneurs themselves and you can't actually recruit them?
All these cases, all of them. So these people exist, okay? They do exist, that can come and just like structure your sales, boost your growth. I'm one of them. Now, would they join as a consultant or as a founder? It depends on many things, or as a team member. It depends on many things. It depends on the compensation, on their stage in life, many things. You have to figure this out. However, these people will not be able to perform if the foundation is not there. If the company has been struggling, maybe there are some reasons why. Maybe bad management, maybe control freak CEOs, maybe micromanagers, maybe too visionary, not grounded enough, maybe wrong target audience. So many maybes that could go wrong. So these people do exist, but they're not the solution. The solution is first a healthy foundation with figuring out the problem we're solving, the clients we're talking to, doing things lean. I had a client in the past who contacted me. They've been around for 2 years. A big growth in terms of tech, building the tech, that they know how to do it, like huge tech team. The guy is super good at fundraising. He can get money to from investors who are not in the tech space, so they're just like into the old way of let's build something and then sell it. So he found his right target audience in terms of investors who don't understand what he's doing and who just like buy the big vision. And then there is the big tech team. So many things were not right. It took me months to basically help clean the mistakes. So basically figuring out it's a marketplace as well. In the beginning, it was, okay, but who are you selling to? Well, everybody, because they felt like everybody is the right thing to do. We can help everybody. I'm like, if you help everybody, you help nobody. The message, I'm here to help you communicate to them, but I cannot communicate to everyone. I need to know who I'm talking to. So in the words we use, we target them. Maybe later we add new categories, but today I need to start with the one that needs you the most. So it takes a lot of time to come 2-3 years later. Like you're talking about these people who come like growth managers and they make magic happen. They need to come at the right time as well. If they come like I did in a startup that has been around with the structure, with the framework, with the mindset that I needed to change, and took me so much energy to, make it go the other way and help them have clarity. And now after that, it has been getting much better. Mm-hmm. So it's, that's what I want to say. They do exist, but they need to come at the right stage. And if your company does not have the right setup from the beginning, they will get frustrated or tired, or maybe they will help you, but it's going to take more time.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, because you actually, they're not there to fix your startup. They're there for growth.
Exactly.
You need a management consultant, not that they work on startups, but come in, restructure everything.
Yeah, that's also what I do. Fortunately or unfortunately for me.
You've only got so many hours in the day, though, I presume, and lots of people want that, right?
Right now, it's a lot. Right now, my days are quite long, very long, till I'm ready to sleep, 10 p.m. But that's not what I want. I used to have more time in my life until lately. So I'm looking into restructuring my work. I don't want to work like that. I don't live to work.
Well, that's why you got out of investment banking, right?
Yeah, exactly. So why am I? Yeah, exactly.
Super. Great. Now, topic I'm very passionate about, and you've actually helped me with this, materializing your dreams and ideas, insights from a seasoned coach. That's, of course, you, Raja. Now, you've coached many an entrepreneur, and many struggle to cut that corporate umbilical cord and make that leap into entrepreneurship, even though they really do. So what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs out there?
Yeah, I understand that it's hard to free yourself, if that's what you want to do, because it's comfortable, it's easy, it's very risky to start a new venture, and most likely you will fail the first one because you need to go through this. That's why if you really want to become an entrepreneur, you need to start as early as possible, as soon as you have that feeling, because you need to fail to learn, or you need to, I don't want to guarantee you failure, but it's part of the process. So start early, as soon as possible, so you can just learn. Now, it's about my personal philosophy is that life is too short to not make your dreams happen. As simple as that. Whatever wish you have, why not give it a try? You can always go back. You need to believe in yourself. You can always, and you need to believe in yourself when you're an entrepreneur as well. But you can always go back and get a job. Come on, you can. Okay, you're not, unless you go into alcoholism and something terrible happens to you, there is a way to come back. And big companies will value that experience you've had, that entrepreneurial experience, to be a risk taker, to be innovative, an innovator, to take leadership. They will value that. Actually, I've read a study a long time ago where people who stayed in their job and people who left and came back, they were at the same, they requested the same amount of salary and position. So you don't really, you don't miss on anything. You just come back and say, okay, but now this is my worth now, and this is the title I want. I'm not going to go back to what I had before. So there is a very little risk, and it's just worth giving it a try. We only live once.
Yeah, hugely inspiring. And as you say, you learn so many skills. You get those opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily get in your siloed role. You get to do full business management strategy, networking, and you bring all those skills back to the corporate. So amazing. Why wouldn't you do that?
It's amazing. It has been an interesting journey for me, but I learned so much. I have never learned that. I learned everything by myself, from social media, marketing, personal branding, community building. I learned, by myself, fundraising, growth strategies. You learn by doing, by being close to others, by getting inspired, by learning from others. I had many coaches myself, and I keep on looking for more knowledge. So it helps me, and I can help others as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I started a small e-commerce business just before my MBA. And by the end of the MBA course, I was teaching them about digital marketing. And the class were like, thank you. That's far better than any of the lectures we had, because that was, from 10 years ago. They recycled the notes, whereas mine was live, PPC marketing back in 2012. And that was, pretty new, especially back in South Africa. And I would never have learned that.
Exactly. When you start your business, you get up to date with what you need to know. Well, when you just stay at work, actually, for me, it's more risky to have a safe position working for someone else. It's risky. He's deciding on my self-worth. He's deciding my promotion. He's deciding if I'm redundant or not. He or she has so much power on me. I'm like, this is unacceptable. I cannot let someone decide at the end of the year if I'm getting a raise. I'm negotiating with you. No, I need this. I deserve this. I want that title. And I don't care about titles anymore after getting all the titles I could dream of, CEO, investor, whatever. Now I just want to be me and live the life I want with flexible hours, even if this last 2 months have been hectic. But it's because it's just before summer. So in Norway, we take 1 month off at least. July is going to be off. So now it's a lot going on. So, good. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we had you on the show. Thanks for penciling us in here. One of the things I want to touch on briefly before we summarize is not many people know about coaching, and some have heard of it but don't know about the incredible benefits. Now, I've been the lucky recipient of quite a large amount of coaching, and it's transformed my life, career, and outlook. Can you perhaps share a brief success story with the listeners so that they can really understand the benefits of a coach?
Yeah, I mean, so many, I would say. I can tell you that, let me think. For example, one person, so I do also group coaching. I put many companies together that I coach. So apart from those who actually decided to make the leap and start their own business, so that's life transformation. There are also those who joined because their business was struggling. One in particular I think of, he joined, he had a normal consultancy agency in marketing. And after joining, he decided to he started building a CMO for hire platform. That this way, it's not just about him or his network of consultants selling services. Now he's scaling it. So that's one thing. Another one joined a marketplace. The founders joined together, my group coaching. And after the second session, one of them calls me and tells me, Raya, I realized that this business we've been doing for 2 years is not going to make any money. And my co-founder wants to keep on doing this because he really believes that we need to keep on doing it. But I look at the numbers, it doesn't make sense. So there are all these realizations. They would have kept on doing what they were doing because they are in the operations and in that vision, and they just like start brainwashing themselves. But when you have a coach, you're facing some you get some reality checks saying, actually, have you done your numbers? Have you looked at this? Why are you doing this way? Another one, for example, decided to transform again her business from a traditional bakery to an e-commerce shop, so to actually sell recipes and sell vegan packages to make cakes instead of making herself her cakes and selling them. So it's different from a person to another. And of course, those that I have coached during my accelerators got investor ready and got investors. So that's maybe the biggest success for that we can call success for them, since they wanted to raise money. It depends. Everybody's business is different, but they get an outcome they would not have gotten without the acceleration.
Yeah, hugely valuable. And I like what you've said, that, they get to step back and step away from the coalface and actually think. And I think that's in startups, that's the role of the board / chairperson, but not many startups realize that, and they just go into a reporting kind of mode. And it's just so beneficial if you've got someone whose objective can come in and help you come out of the weeds. And as you say, that you just save yourself 2 years in one coaching session. So
Exactly.
Yeah, great. And the support, the emotional, psychological support, that can't be understated.
That's another way. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just having somebody telling you can do it because others are doing it. Let me show you how we can do it. I know right now you feel like you're in a dark black cloud, but we can make it happen. Look at this way. Step 1, step 2, giving them a step-by-step process. This is why I created the first online accelerator in 2018, because not only there were all these entrepreneurs that didn't know where to start, what to do, but also I created what I wish I had access to.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to learn this. Now I learned it the hard way, but I wish somebody could tell me, step 1, you do this. Step 2, you do this. Why not? Why do we have to struggle when somebody else can actually show you the roadmap and what to do and push you, and you're becoming accountable for the results?
Learn vicariously. Absolutely. Great. I'm going to summarize what you've said today, and then we'll wrap up. So here we go. Investor readiness. What investors want to see. So investor ready actually means that you have a solid business case, not just a bunch of paperwork. What investors are looking for? Well, they're looking for solid, sustainable businesses that could be profitable. They like to see traction, roadmaps, go-to-market strategies. They don't necessarily want you to need investment. Hopefully, it's just extra fuel for the fire. Team is, of course, of paramount importance. If you've exited, great. If you've got a couple of good universities on your CV, especially entrepreneurial universities, great. Passion is key. They want you to be visionary, but also the rubber must meet the ground and be numbers orientated. And hopefully you've got a superpower in something like branding or marketing. And then, of course, solve a strong problem. Don't be a nice to have. Don't be a vitamin, be a medicine. Really, someone needs to really want or need your service. And in terms of getting investor ready, your best resource, according to Raya, is perhaps an online accelerator. So check out thehub.io and speak to Raya if you want to perhaps engage your services. Now, how to grow a marketplace. Marketplaces are hard to monetize, remember, and investors might not find them an attractive investment proposition. So you might need to go at it alone, and it might take quite a long time. Remember that when building an online marketplace, perhaps start with an offline community, because that's easier to build than going straight to online. And of course, as with all startups, go niche. Don't try solve everyone's problem, solve one person's problem and scale from there. I think Sam Altman from Y Combinator says, do things that don't scale. That's quite scary, but that's what you need to do first. Now, in terms of these head of growth, zebra unicorn people, they do exist, but they're not going to solve all your startup's problems. Remember, timing is everything, but maybe look inwards first before looking for a silver bullet to save the day. And then, of course, materializing your dreams and ideas. Insights from a seasoned coach. Super inspiring from Raya. Thank you. I think if you want to become an entrepreneur, Raya says, start as early as possible. Failure is part of the process, so embrace it. It's a learning opportunity, and you'll keep up to date. And remember, you can always go back to your job. Those jobs, in 100 years, the jobs will still be there. Life is too short. Get on and do it. You will learn an incredible amount and maybe come back on the same or higher salary in a better position. And then look into coaching. If you're a startup, if you're a founder, coaches are incredibly valuable and unlock a lot of value within you. It's not the advice they give you, it's what they uncover, what you already know. So thanks very much, Raya. Anything else you want to add to the summary?
Forget your ego in the process. It's a very humbling journey. I'll give you another example. I hosted an event 2 weeks ago where I matched some startups I know with investors. And what happened is that one of the startups got in touch with me and said, Raya, this is not acceptable. Somebody completely outside your network got my pitch deck. And they contacted me and they want to send me their services. So, and then she sent me another another email saying, but following my previous email, I hope you don't take this personally. I'm just trying to help you improve this and let you know what's happening. And I was like, I never took it personally. I was like, thank you so much for letting me know. This is a failure. This is a small failure, because in terms of quality and my relationship with the startup, it's not perfect. It's not ideal. It's a little failure, but I embrace it. And I said, I don't take it personally at all. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to make sure that this doesn't happen next time by doing this. We're going to keep it close network of angel investors where we interview all the angels. So every little failure is an opportunity to grow and just get better and move faster. Embrace the failure and leave your ego outside the picture.
Well, yeah, if you don't, it'll probably get crushed in the process. So
it's going to get crushed a lot.
Great, superb. And if we want to continue the conversation with you, how do we get in touch with you? Where do we find you? What resources?
LinkedIn. Shoot me a message on LinkedIn. I get back to you.
All right. Perfect. Well, that's it. Thanks very much. We really appreciate your time and hugely valuable insights. I've learned a lot. I've become even more inspired than our previous chat. So thank you very much.
Happy to help. We speak soon then.
That's all for this episode. Keep tuning in for more exclusive insights from seasoned investors, accomplished entrepreneurs, and professional service advisors. Follow the Tippy Top blog on all major social media platforms, including Twitter, TikTok, Insta, Facebook, or now Meta, LinkedIn, and of course, you can find me, Alexander Lee, on LinkedIn, and you can also check out my website, thetippytop.com. Until next time, keep pushing, and I'll see you at the Tippy Top.